All right, what's up, guys? So today I just thought I'd go over kind of how I make these videos and kind of my current home setup. As you can see, I kind of work out of my living room. I don't have like an extra spare room or space. You can probably hear behind me. There's a ton of cars behind that window. That's just that's something that I can't control. It's super annoying, but there's always cars driving by. And so that's why I use this Rode Procaster as my main mic, because it does help a little bit isolate some of the noise. But I feel like for most people who are watching YouTube, the audio is important, but you're not gonna, as long as you can hear my voice mainly, it's just gonna be a little bit annoying to have that in the background, but it's just something that I have to deal with. So this is my mic, Rode Procaster. I have a little boom mount here. Currently, I am using the LG Ultrafine as my main monitor. It's the LG Ultrafine 5K, and it's got about 500 nits of brightness. It's perfect for everything I need. I'm currently using this monitor as my light because it 500 nits is bright enough for these videos. And then I have a secondary light over here, which is just reflecting off some white walls. It's just giving me a little bit of light on the right side of me. I know this isn't like the best setup, but I feel like it's good enough. And I feel like it works out pretty well for a low cost. For anyone who's on a budget making their own videos, you can get by with like the stuff you already have. So if you have a monitor, you can use that as your main light. I just happen to have a second light over here that's kind of reflecting some of the light off the wall. It's probably not even really making that big of a difference. But one thing that's annoying is I had to constantly move my mouse just to make sure that the screen is bright. I probably should just change the settings so it's always on, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using the Evo 4, which I just started using it about a few months ago, and this is my audio interface, and that is how I connect this microphone to my camera. So this is an XLR input microphone, and I got this plugged into the Evo 4, and then out of my headphone jack, I have an adapter that goes straight to my A7C camera that I'm recording on right now. Sometimes I use the A7C, sometimes I use the A7 IV. I'm kind of in between them. I love both of them. I can't decide on which one I'm keeping right now. I might just keep both of them. And then I also have a filter on here so I can change the lighting, make me darker or brighter. These are the Freewell filters. And then to hear myself, I can just easily put in some headphones on, just like that, to kind of monitor to see how I sound. I'm using the Peak Design tripod for my camera. I've been using this tripod for the last couple years. I love it. I don't think I will ever use anything else. I'm using the new MacBook Pro, which I just recently purchased. I've been doing some video editing on it. I'll probably have some other videos on that, and so far it's been really good. I feel like for doing H.265 videos, HEVC codecs, and with the MacBook Pro, I almost feel like the speed rendering everything, I feel like it's almost the same speed as the M1 iMac that I was using, but I know it's a little bit faster. And I've been doing like 4K renders, but I would say like you definitely can add more layers in it, and it's gonna go faster than the iMac. And then also it's just easier to move around in your timeline when I'm using DaVinci Resolve. It's a lot just quicker, and I feel like it works a lot better than the iMac that I was using. But I feel like if I was just using, shooting with the A7C and using H.264, I feel like I'd be totally fine with the iMac that I was using before. So I started with the M1 MacBook Air, and then I went to the 24-inch iMac, and now I have the MacBook Pro, and I feel like they're all great. I decided against getting the newest M2 MacBook Air just because I felt like it was the same price as the MacBook Pro. If I spec'd it out the same, if I got 16 gigabytes of RAM and I got the 512 SSD, so that's why I ended up going with the MacBook Pro, just because I feel like it was almost the same price, and the MacBook Pro is so much better in every way, and it has just a better screen and refresh rate, so that's why I went with it. And then I'm doing all of this right now. I'm just connecting everything to the LG ultrafine 5K monitor, which is pretty much like having a studio display. It has a good camera. It doesn't have a good camera. It has a camera on it. The speakers are totally fine for what I need, because I'm mostly editing videos with my Airpods Max. I feel like you don't really need really good speakers if you're using the AirPod Max. And the reason I use them is because they don't really have a lot of latency. So they work perfect in the timeline when I'm doing any kind of video editing. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm doing my videos right now. I do have like a 24-inch softbox that I could use for my lighting on my face, but I'm always like, I have to take it down every time I do a video, and it's just kind of annoying. So I was like, I'm just going to use the monitor that I already have today. And I may continue using this. I don't know. Sometimes I use the softbox, but it's just annoying to have to get it out every time I want to make a video. And as you can see, I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible, because I'm trying to put out videos every week, and it's really annoying to have to set up something every time. So I've just kind of found that having a tripod on my desk with my monitor right in front of me is really the easiest way to do this. So anyway, I'm sure there is a better setup, and I'm probably going to figure that out along the way. But this is working pretty good. Right now, I also have a 20 millimeter 1.8 Sony G lens that I'm shooting this on. I go between this lens and the 24 millimeter. Sometimes I'll use the 24 millimeter 1.4 G Master, and then sometimes I'll just zoom in if I want like a 35 millimeter look, just because I like the 35 millimeter look. But I'm actually don't mind the 20 millimeter. I feel like it's nice because I can use my hands more when I'm talking, and it's and you can kind of see the space around me. But it is kind of distorted if I reach out this way. My arms look super long, but I feel like the 20 millimeter is like a pretty good lens in general. So anyway, that is my current desk setup and how I do my videos. It's very simple. As you can see, it's like pretty low budget. I know that I have two different cameras, but they're not that expensive. Evo 4 is only $100. This mic, I got it, I think, on eBay for about $120. So for the most part, this is a pretty low budget YouTube studio. I guess I wouldn't call it that, but that's what it is. So anyway, hope you like this video. Definitely like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.